News, I'm Rizwan Asad. I have with me and dynamic Mansoor Ali Khan, who has recently been appointed as the General Secretary for the Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
And he's the chairman of the Research Department of the KPCC. We have come here on a specific issue, the political scenario in Karnataka. You being a youth leader, you're the future leader for the community, as well as, you're doing a lot of work. So how do you see Karnataka with this politics which has been going on for the past 1.5 months?
See, as far as the politics is concerned, if you see Karnataka, after the S.R. Bommai government has taken over, they've been seeing the writing on the wall that they are going to lose the next assembly elections. For that reason, there's been a constant endeavor by this BJP government to polarize the society. That's why you will find one day a hijab issue, one day a halal issue, one day trade boycott of the Muslims and all that. And BJP is trying to make sure that the society is divided. But I'm sure that this will not happen. And recently, if you see, when Mrs. Kiran Majumdar-Shaw made a comment about the happening in Karnataka and tweeted about it, instead of looking at it in a very constructive manner, you had these trolls from BJP trying to justify or trying to belittle. And it's not that the outside world is not watching. Bangalore, Karnataka has always been a progressive state where capital inflow, FDI, has been one of the highest in the country. But this BJP government knows they are hell-bent on damaging Karnataka's image by polarizing. And I think in the long run, this will boomerang on them.
No, but there is a allegation that it's the Congress and other smaller parties are trying to divide the society and come in and see that the Basuraj Bommai government gets a bad name. They're blaming the Congress, and moreover, Congress has not taken up any issues regarding all this, and they've been silent.
See, a C.T. Ravi doesn't belong to Congress. The fringe elements who are creating this ruckus don't belong to Congress. And it is a matter, if the government is keen on law and order and upholding the constitution which they have sworn and come into office, it is a matter of maybe minutes for the Chief Minister and Home Minister to get all these fringe elements to fall in line and not go on issuing statements. Because now the affiliates of BJP and RSS have become law unto themselves. And as far as the Congress is concerned, you had our Congress President, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, was the first person to tweet about the issues here. Mr. Sidramaya and Mr. D.K. Shivkumar's recent interviews and because Congress has always believed in maintaining peaceful relationship between the community and for the welfare of the state. So Congress has been doing its bit, and even in future you will find Congress standing with the people of Karnataka and upholding the Constitution of India.
But there are other smaller parties, like PFI, SDPI, MIM. They are also saying that it's the Congress which is more dangerous than the BJP, and these people are the real saviors of the community, and Congress has just been keeping watching. And your own ex-Congress leader, Mr. Simi Ibrahim, has also blamed the Congress, and that's the reason he has left the Congress and gone to them.
See, as far as the other parties blaming Congress, they all are a B team of BJP. Tell me at what rate or at what point will they ever be able to form a government? Their only agenda is to split the Congress vote and help BJP. There is no other agenda. And as far as quickly as possible people realize and abandon these parties and stop supporting them, and the day and the Congress doesn't need any certificate from SDPI, PFI or MIM. We've seen their brand of politics, which is nothing but the other version of RSS.
What about Mr. Simi Ibrahim? He was for 35 years with the Congress, and he blames and saying that even with this hijab issue or any other issue that's coming to give the seats or coming to give position, Congress has always played with the sentiments and the appeasement of thing, and he's saying nothing. Congress is just watching the things.
See, Mr. CM Ibrahim is a senior leader, but I beg to differ with him on this issue. He has also enjoyed enough power within the Congress party. He has been a part of the Congress party. And it is because on the other side, you can always say, you could have raised these issues within the party. And yes, Muslims and are within the party, and the party has to support and will support. But what Mr. CM Ibrahim, by quitting the party at this point of time, has done is opportunism.
But he was always, when he was in the Congress, he was always told that, that they don't listen to me, I try to meet, I am the man who brought Siddaramaiah into power, I am the man who brought this into power. And ultimately when he was to be made the leader of the opposition in the council, they made Hari Prasad. So he's telling that's one of the grievances.
See,
why they have not...
Individual hopes and aspirations will be there. Okay, for example, if I wish something, it's not necessary, it may happen immediately. But he's a senior leader, he should realize if he has not been made the leader of opposition, but in future something else would have definitely happened. But because you're not getting, see, one thing you have to make up your mind. You are in a party for a position, or you're in a party with ideology. As congressmen, we stand for the ideology of secularism and upholding the constitution. And if, for example, if every congressman looks up, only goes behind a post, what happens to the party? So I strongly beg to differ. If you believe in the conviction and ideology of the Congress, then you are a true congressman. Otherwise, you are never a congressman.
How is the Congress leadership now, sir? Because there are lots of talk that Siddaramaiah has got one group, D.K. Shivkumar has got one group, Parameshwarappa one group, Mallikarjun Kharge one group, and it's like strings are being pulled. So, and that's one of the reasons Congress may not come to power.
See, absolutely wrong. All these are promoted and propagated by BJP and fake channels of and propaganda channels of BJP. Congress is united, one, and you will see the results when the assembly elections happen.
And coming back to a very important issue, like the youths like you, who have been given very good position and post now, do you think that you will be getting an opportunity to serve the people? Because we have seen only the old and people who are already there from so many years are there, and you're a son of one of the best legendary Rahman Khan Sahab, who has done so much for the community. Do you think that would you get that same position and serve the community?
See, our party has a lot of dedicated workers. Everybody will get an opportunity and a chance. It may not be exactly what we hope and aspire for, but there is definitely every congressman will be given an opportunity. And as far as the party is concerned, you need a lot of youngsters and you need experienced people. India is a young nation, and obviously even the party is encouraging the youngsters within the fold, and it has to be a proper balance of experience and youth.
What about the cost of living in going up day by day? What is your take on that?
See, first of all,
petrol, the diesel, the gas.
First of all, if you see, this Modi government is a fraud on the country. You set the narrative in a manner where you ask the government about price rise, LPG, any high cost of living. It goes back to polarization and communal politics. And a very, very big disservice to the country is by a section of media which has just become a propaganda utility or a propaganda arm of the BJP. And if you see the amount of hate which is going on in these mainstream news channels, it is appalling. And at the same time, when you create an atmosphere within the country where your economic policies are not doing well, but for that, if you see the recent happenings of the last 1 month, the communal tensions and stress the BJP has got within the country, this is all a planned move to distract the people from the real issues.
So, what do you think should be done to see that everybody comes back, peace, harmony, our economy comes back, the price is to be checked?
See, first of all, for peace and harmony to come back, it takes not more than one statement from the Prime Minister of India or the Home Minister of India. It is, if you see, there is a silence, and the silence is a tactic approval that please go on, we will not interfere.
So you're saying that there's approval.
See, if there is no approval,
Why doesn't a Prime Minister and the Home Minister make a statement? If you say you disapprove of it, the people are getting divided, the country is getting divided. You have festivals are a time where you celebrate and enjoy. Here festivals are not show of strength. This was never the country. This is India is a democracy which has sworn into secularism. You are trying to, and when that is happening, who's the person who's managing the country or running the country? It's the Prime Minister and the Home Minister. Law and order is in shambles. But why you're not doing this? Because you know, the moment you stop this, there are no jobs, the economy is doldrums, LPG prices are high, petrol, diesel, everything. You want people to be distracted. And one more very, very important part. Our democracy, sometimes I really wonder, our courts can take so much of cognizance of the happenings which are over the last 2 weeks, what's happened. So because unless and until, and I somehow feel it is a high time where judicial intervention should happen. And because these are the historic moments of India, where India is a cusp of history, where if the judiciary is not going to take up these matters, the executive may take over.
So what's your final message on this? With all this political scenario, with all this division, polarization, being as a youth, not as a Muslim, as a youth, and seeing for the welfare of the country, what is your final message? What are you going to say to the people of the country?
See, only one thing I can tell to the people of the country. Follow the path of truth and righteousness. Today, the fake theory, the fake news, and the fake narrative is destroying the country. And India is much better than this. Please don't fall to the trap of false narrative, and don't fall to the trap of this WhatsApp University generated information, and be careful. Use your own judgment and not what the present dispensation or anybody wants to show you. You make a judgment by you being informed.
Very nice speaking to you, Mansoor. It was very informative. And Mansoor says everything that we in India should live in unity and diversity. Brotherhood, peace, roti, kapda, makan is the order of the day. We stop all this decisive politics, stop the polarization. We have to work for the betterment of the country, see that our country prospers. Rizwan Asad, Nashimun.